Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on another Spongebob SquarePants episode. And this one is on Karate Choppers. Now as you know, Karate Choppers was the second part of the 14th episode of the first season of SpongeBob SquarePants, which aired on December the 31st, 1999, where in the UK it aired in September the 17th, 2000. And the whole point of the story is about, knowing when there's a time and a place for the things you like, and making sure that it doesn't interfere with what you do at work. So the premise of the episode is meant to follow, SpongeBob and Sandy getting over the top with the whole karate stuff, and we see how they take it like their own personal game of interest. This is until we see how SpongeBob lets it basically affect his work stuff, and it's clear that not only does he put the customers in danger, kind of put Mr. Krabs in a sort of position where he has to make sure to understand no more karate. And this is where, SpongeBob and Sandy have to kind of make sure they don't get carried away, otherwise SpongeBob is going to get fired. I think what the episode gets right at is leaving a bit of an important message about knowing when there's a time and a place for personal interests, and don't let it basically affect work. And it's also a good metaphor to how, sometimes playing fantasy, make-believe, as well as letting your personal interests get the better of you. Because, not only that, it will put you in danger, get you into trouble, or cause people to get annoyed and fed up with you. I think it's like looking at Wendy's dad in the whole Disney film Peter Pan. Not only did Wendy's brothers get carried with the whole Peter Pan fantasy, it kind of did cause him to get upset and annoyed how his personal belongings got affected. Or it's like looking at Luz from the Owl House, because due to make-believe and all that, it made people quite uncomfortable with her make-believe world due to her own personal reasons. And I think Mr. Krabs here for this episode definitely has to make SpongeBob understand no more karate. And it's clear that he's reminding SpongeBob what can happen if he's not careful. And this is first season Mr. Krabs. The first season, Mr. Krabs was a bit more morals. He always wanted what was best for SpongeBob, and wasn't the over-the-top greedy character he once was. And I think Mr. Krabs is completely in the right here, because he knows SpongeBob is going too far with the whole karate stuff. He knows it's putting people in danger, and he's just trying to make sure SpongeBob understands that his actions will come with consequences, and when there's consequences, there is going to come repercussions from your actions. I think, the episode does resolve itself quite quickly, but it does a good job in showing that, don't basically let your interests in that affect your work stuff, because it can get you into trouble, cause people to basically be untrustworthy of you, and that, letting interests like card games, films, basically talking about play stuff and that, can affect what you're doing, both at school, workplaces, as well as other places that you are employed in. And it can also affect you and others if you aren't careful. I think it's not a perfect episode, but again, it's the first season. It has the morals already put out. It's just knowing how it's trying to balance it. So I think this episode definitely deserves a thumbs up. Well, it's not a perfect one. It definitely does a good job in reminding its fans as well as kids to not let fantasy and reality clash with what you're doing. And there's a time and a place for everything you do. Let it be music, sport, working at the counter, basically sorting family problems out and all that. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.